Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So video pengajaran ini adalah untuk kursus SMR3013 iaitu Research Method, berkaitan dengan chapter pertama, Introduction to Research. Okay, so konten pengajaran akan berdasarkan nota kuliah yang telah diletakkan di dalam sistem MyGuru dan juga link kepada YouTube yang telah juga diupload di dalam sistem MyGuru. Okay, if you have any question, you can just write down in the comment platform as well as in the MyGuru. Okay. So I will begin the class with the notes that I gave you in the platform. So let's look at the nota first, yeah. Okay, so first part is about introduction to research. Okay, let me show you the slide so that I can explain briefly for each one. So, introduction to research. Okay, so by definition, what is research? Research is a systematic inquiry that involves search of an unknown phenomenon. There are so many definitions of research. So, this is by Verma and Malik in 2009. The keyword here is systematic inquiry. Okay, and then the next, another definition is by Macmillan 2010. It is a process, okay, a process of collecting, interpreting, and reporting of information. So there's another definition by Best and Kabu 2008. Research is defined as systematic and objective analysis. Dewey 1938. So this is very old reference. They define it as a method of science. So then when they say method of science, there are several steps. The first one, it involves identification and definition of the problem. It involves formulation of a hypothesis, collection, organization, analysis of data, formulation of conclusion, verification, rejection, or modification of the hypothesis. That's basically the definition of research. So why actually you doing research? Okay. So the purpose of research is basically to acquire new knowledge or to verify existing knowledge. That's the difference between research and consultant. Consultant is directly solve the problem, but through research you actually contribute or come up the product is actually new knowledge. Okay. So there's some other purpose. Of course, there will be a seek for solution. You want to solve a problem, to discover general principle or interpretation, and to predict or control such events. Okay, so the main purpose is to acquire new knowledge. This is the important part. When people ask you what is research, basically it's more towards contribution or come up with a new knowledge. Okay, so why we do research? So basically the logic behind research is because if we don't do any research, we tend to make incorrect decisions. So through research, you can know whether current situation is actually valid or it's not valid anymore. Okay, that's why we need some kind of research. Alright, so what else? Logic behind the research is to avoid waste of time, money, and effort. Okay, that's why we do research. So there are several limitations of research. So it depends on the what type of research that you do. Okay, so here are some of it. Maybe you can just read it later. Sometimes you cannot proceed. The research is just because the materials you are lack of material. Okay, some of the material you cannot find. Okay, and then another limitation, maybe you have a problem making observation. Okay, sometimes the respondent, their attitude, okay, affect the way you do the research. Okay, so there's some other, here is some other limitation. Okay, in terms of ethics, so this is the 10 questionable practices in social and educational research. So this is not supposed to do. Okay, don't do this. Okay, first one, for example, you involve people without their knowledge or consent. And then exposing participants to physical or mental stress, not treating participants fairly or with respect. So don't do this. Okay, when you do research, don't do this. Instead, okay, this is what you should do. Okay, your respondent must be a volunteer person or respondent. Okay, they must be voluntary participate in your research. You cannot force them to involve in your research. Okay, okay. Of course, no harm to the participants. Anonymity. Okay, is anonymous. Means it's confidential. You cannot identify or you expose who is your respondent. The confidentiality is very important in the research. Okay. Okay, and then the last one is be honest in analyzing and reporting. Even though you got the negative finding. So this one very important. Whatever analyze, whenever you analyze, whatever the outcome, you need to report it, even though it's mean negative things. Okay, so that's ethical. What is the characteristic of a good research? So basically, it depends on what type of research you do. Of course, the first thing, good research is those research which give impact, give a big impact to the knowledge. Okay, first maybe towards directed toward the solution of a problem. Of course, when you do research, one of the main aim is to solve the problem. So the first point, what is the good research? Is basically they can solve a problem, they give impact. Okay, so there's many other here. Again, here a good research is achieved by carefully designed procedure that apply rigorous analysis. Okay, so when you do research, you must, even though you have limitation, but you must make sure the method or the procedure that you use in the research has been consider many method or many form. That's how you do research. Okay, so you maybe not clearly understand what this means, but later on I will show you the video so that we can discuss about this. Okay. Of course, a good research must have expertise. If your study is about mathematical education, so you must have expert in the field of mathematical education. If your field of study is more like pure mathematics or applied mathematics, you must have expertise from applied or pure mathematics. Okay. Okay, so this is important. A good research must be original. Original means there's no such thing like plagiarism. Okay, so it must be a new knowledge and it is original. Okay, this is very important. Okay, so this is some other the definition or the characteristics of a good research. Okay. Okay, so now what I want you to look at is a video from the YouTube. So basically I will show you two video about the definition of research, and at the end of the video I will give you some kind of task, just a simple task for you to give feedback. Okay, give feedback by writing a comment at the comment platform. So that I understand and I know that you are actually actively participating in this class. Okay, your attendance as well will be based on your comment. To those from group B, if you are attending the class, this is a pre-recorded, so I hope you can write down your metric number and fill from which group, and then you can give your answer of the task at the comment. Okay, so let's go to the next part, which is the video, the definition of a research. So what is research? Okay, research is like going on adventure. So by definition, it is the systematic investigation into a topic and study of material and source in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions. This is the one that I mentioned just now. By definition, research is the systematic investigation into a topic. Okay. Of course, you will have some other material and sources for your research. So by other definition, research is looking up information again and again. That's why the words we use here, research. Okay, research means you're looking information again and again. Okay, you will try to find information about your topic, and then if you're for example, if you're studying master, for example, in 2019, you are doing your literature, you find information in 2019, but when it's come to 2020, you still need to looking for the new information which is the updated one. Okay, so research, that's why research means it involves repeating or repeated process of gathering information about your topic. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, so here is another fact when we say about research. Okay, so research is driven by a question that then guides the process. Okay, so when you start the research, other than you have specific topic, there must be as well a research question. So why you need to have this research question is because all the analysis or all the data collection and everything will be based to answer the research question. That's why the next step after you know what is your focus or what is your subject of interest, you must know what is the research question that you want to answer. Okay, and then when you have those research questions, they guide you to find or to seek information which is specific only for those research questions. That's why it's important to have research question at the first stage of your research, because afterward you only find information that can answer your research question. If you don't have any research question, you might be the next step you don't know where to go basically. Okay, and then research is defined as a process. Again, it's a systematic process. When we say systematic, means it's been doing, you need to do it step by step. Okay, you need to do it step by step. All right. Okay, so this is important. Okay, when I said just now in the notes that I shared with you about the ethic in doing research. So here you must remember that research is not just gathering information that may related to your topic, because sometimes you need to read or get information which is not exactly related to your research, but that will help in your research. So it's not just get information, it's not just about rearranging the fact, and it's not just combining paragraph from various sources. Okay, the third one here, combining paragraph from various sources, this is happen a lot amongst final year project student. How we know that you are actually combined paragraph is just because in the literature review, we can see that for each paragraph, you can just copy paste the sentence from the original article and then you cite the reference. So that's mean combining. There's no critical discussion about the finding of other research, but instead you just copy paste the paragraph and then you compile, make it another paragraph. That was me. So research is not about that. Research is not about combining paragraph. Okay. Okay, so this is important. You need to know what you are looking for. So since you are, most of you are 8014 and 8048. 8014 means you are doing BED Maths, and 8048 is BSc Maths with Education. Okay, so here you need to know what you are looking for. So when you are referring to Math and Maths Education, so basically your research must related to this field. Okay, for example, Maths Education, you need somehow need to know what is actually the subject of your interest related to this Maths Education. Okay, it can be in many forms. Okay, so that's why first of all you need to know what is your subject of interest in this field. Okay, so here is some example how we define research. Okay, so here what is research question and why do we need a research question? This one is the same that I told you just now. Okay, a research question is a question related to your topic that needs to be answered. So research question basically guide you to get some information to answer the research question. So here is some example. For example, you may consider to pick two careers that you are interested in. Okay, and then you may some kind of compare what are the similarities and differences of these two careers. So this is an example of how you doing research. Okay, but for your task, there will be another video. That's that video. Then I will ask you to do something based on the second video. So this one you can just try answer, pick two career that you're interested in and ask yourself, and then you find out what is the similarity and differences of these two career. Okay, so that's the process of research. Okay. Okay, so this is the one that I mentioned just now. What is research question? It's actually a guide for you to get information about your topic. And then as you do research, normally of course you need to record it somewhere in your notes. Okay, how to conduct research is looking for information. Looking for information to answer the research question. Okay, so there are three things here. Topic, and then you have a research question. Okay, so when you have topic, so they normally have a certain keyword. So how you want to find the reference or literature on this topic. For example, you are looking for HOTS, okay, problems among student, masalah hebat di kalangan pelajar matematik, for example. Okay, so what is the keyword here? You may search for HOTS in mathematics, or you may say in Malay kebat di dalam matematik. Okay, so that's the keyword. So when you know what is your subject of interest, then you know what is the related keyword for that. Okay, this is the most reliable reference. Okay, so when you do literature or reference, make sure the article or the website that you refer is the trusted one. That's why here they suggest website with gov means it's a government website, or edu means it's a university website. So all those government and edu is a trusted reference. Also, in UPSI we have that scopus.com. You may access the scopus.com outside university by log into library. If you don't know how to do it, maybe you can ask library. Scopus.com is one of the index journal. So if you are looking for some kind of idea or article related to your subject of interest, that will be a good reference. Okay, so make sure you are not look at the URL blocks. Okay, sometimes there is a discussion or answers in internet, so don't use that as your reference. That is not a good reference. Okay, so beware of what page or what website that you refer as your reference. So this is important. Plagiarism, plagiate. Okay, by definition, plagiarism is copying another person's work without providing direct reference to the author, original material, or website. Okay, so this is very important. Jangan copy paste other people work. Okay, if you read reference or literature from article or something, you need some kind of to rephrase and you write down the source. Okay, the source means who's the author, what is the article, which year. Okay, that's very important. Don't just copy paste and then make it your own. Okay, that's plagiarism. Alright, so please note this. Now, it's quite easy for lecturer to check whether your article is original or not. Okay, so please make sure all those work, even though it's assignment, make sure it's your original work. Okay, don't plagiate. Okay, copying someone exact word, this is the same. What is plagiat? Okay, so the keyword here citation. Every time you copy other people's work or you rephrase, you make sure you quote. Alright, so that's what is mean by research. The best specific definition of research. Again, you may say that research is a systematic investigation or systematic process. When it's said systematic, it must be step by step. Okay, so I will share with you another video, and in this video, basically they give example on how you doing research by first identifying the subject of interest. Okay, so afterward, I will give you some tasks for you to write down in the comment. Okay, so let's look for the next video. Okay, so ini adalah first step dalam you buat research. Remember just now I said you must have something in your mind about your subject of interest, tentang apa yang you minat untuk kaji. Okay, so since again your field is maths and maths education, so it's good that you have some kind in mind about the research related to maths and maths education. Okay, so first step, you exploring, meaning you have some kind of, you need to do some kind of math or maths education research. So you already have the subject, but what is the main subject? That is important. For example, maybe you interested to study in maths education about HOTS, higher order thinking skill. Maybe you are interested on STEM. You might also interested on producing a module for certain course. Or certain subtopic of mathematics for certain level or certain level of student, whether form 5 until form 1 until form 5. So that is the subject, specific subject of interest. Okay, so first you need to explore. You ask yourself. So now is a stage where you can ask yourself, what's actually the subject of interest? Apa kajian yang you dah fikir nak buat? So that's important. Okay. So this is the step where you identify specific topic. Okay, just now for this example, that this guy is basically love to do research about baseball. So baseball is so big. So you need to have a specific topic. What is the specific study that can be done under or related to baseball? You may study about the legendary player. So it's a baseball, but they focus on player. Or it's maybe related to the team only. You cannot do everything. Okay, research is not about solve world problem. Okay, you tidak menyelesaikan masalah dunia. Okay, so you need to have a specific topic so that your research will be focused. Okay, Alright, so for this example, this guy are interested on baseball. So there's many things to study about baseball. So here, one of it about player, about the team, about the game, about the rules, and many more here. So you need to only focus one thing. Okay, if you can see here, for example, there are 8 suggestions. So you only can choose one. Especially you are later you will do final year project. Final year project is very short term research. Short term research. So you need to consider the time frame. You need to consider the data collection before you decide the topic. That's very important. Okay, look, continue with the video. Okay, so here they choose baseball around the world. What's next? After you know the specific topic, then you need to identify your research question. So you need some time to think of the research question. So that's fine. Okay, so here, what is this guy come up with the research question? And this is a question basically will guide him to gather information about this baseball, and this is related baseball around the world. So this is the research question that they want to ask. There might be many more research questions, but for this purpose, these 4 research questions is considered. So whatever information that he gather will only related to these 4 research questions. The aim and the purpose is mainly to answer these 4 questions. Okay. Okay, then when you have this topic and then you have the specific topic, next you will have the research question. Of course, when these 3 are clear, then you can gather information. Of course, you need to take note, you need to save all the literature, the article, the book that you refer. So this, okay. Then what? After you get the information, next you create. Create here means you need to present it somewhere. Of course, for your case, for this course, you need to present it as an assignment. Okay, so I will create a platform for assignment for you to submit about all those assignment. You have assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, and also assignment 4. So this is just metaphor about notes and research project. Okay, notes you have sand and suddenly you have a castle. So you notes you have ingredient to make a cake and the finding is a cake. Okay, so here the last one you share during your presentation about the investigation that you've done related to your topic. Okay, so here are the 6 steps. For this case, I only focuses on the first 3 steps. Okay, first 3 steps is referring to explore, identify, and gather. Okay, explore means you have your own specific topic, but then second step you identify this very specific, which is referring to your title of the research. Okay, and in the identify as well, you need to have your research question, and gather stage is basically you just get information about your research or subject of interest. Okay, so I think that's it for this first topic related to introduction to research. I hope you have some kind of you understand about what is basically research. By definition, research is basically the aim, the definition is basically a systematic process, and the outcome is basically a new knowledge. That is what research. Of course, when we say they're systematic, they will involve step by step. Okay, so you must understand and you must beware of the ethic, especially plagiarism. Make sure your work is original. Don't copy other people's work. Okay. So for this part, chapter 1, Introduction to Research, there is a task that I would like to give you. Your task will be, I want each one of you to write down in the comment platform about the first is the explore stage, which is first you write down what is your subject of interest. Again, it's related to maths and maths education. What is your subject of interest? Is it you want to come out of module? And then is it you want to study related to STEM? Okay, that's the subject of interest. So you write down in the comment, you write down subject of interest. Okay. Second, number 2, give specific or identify specific topic related your subject of interest. For example, just now maybe you interested to come up with module. Okay, to develop a module. So your specific will be which topic of module, which level of student. Is it Form 5, Form 4, and Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, or Form 5? Okay. And third, write down your research question. So this is just a practice, so that when you're doing chapter 1, you kind of familiar with it. Okay. So first, let me give a number. First, subject of interest, for example, module. Second, specific topic, module for topic geometry. Okay, that's specific. Third, give research question. Okay, write down research questions. Okay, I will prefer not more than 5 research questions for each topic. Okay, so please write down in the comments. So I will be based on those comments to really evaluate your participation. Okay. For attendance, please kindly write down your matric number and from which group. I will just note it in the attendance. Okay. So thank you all for this session. And the next video will be based on chapter 2, which is about quantitative and qualitative research. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.